Right now at 6, a fight for battleground Georgia. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump holding campaign events in Atlanta just days apart. Vice President Harris arriving in Atlanta about 90 minutes ago. She stopped by Pascal's, a restaurant in Castleberry Hill, joined by Georgia Senators Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, Congresswoman Nakima Williams, and Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens. We have a live look right now from Georgia State's campus, and that's where she is expected to speak at 7 p.m. You can see a huge crowd inside gathering right now.
We know that Georgia Senators Reverend Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff have been speaking, getting that crowd warmed up. We also know that rapper Megan Thee Stallion is expected to perform as part of this event for Kamala Harris as well. So we'll keep you updated with everything that goes on tonight at 11 and on 11alive.com. Meanwhile, on Saturday, former President Donald Trump and his vice presidential pick, Senator J.D. Vance, will be holding a rally on the same campus. And some voters who we spoke with today say they feel energized now that Vice President Harris has entered the race.
Both campaigns now hoping to draw in those who may have been planning to stay home in November.
I'm hoping that folks who have not voted in the past will take this election very seriously and vote this year.
And I ain't voted in years, but I bet I'm gonna get out here and vote this time.
Right now, organizations like the bipartisan New Georgia Project are working to register voters before November, and the campaigns are ramping up their efforts to sway people to their side. Former President Donald Trump and the Republican National Committee opened up their first Georgia offices recently, while Democrats have 24 offices operating across the state of Georgia. Since Vice President Harris entered the race, her campaign has also recruited 7,500 volunteers to Georgia. So let's get straight out to 11 Alive's Karis Belger, who got some perspective on Harris's campaign strategy today.
And Karis, you spoke with both a current and former lawmaker on both sides of the aisle here. So what did they have to say?
Well, former Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler says Harris will have to hone in on the issues that are important to voters if she expects to have success, whereas current state Senator Jason Estevez says that this visit shows how important Harris understands Georgia will be in order to find success in November. Vice President Kamala Harris in Georgia, this time at the top of the Democratic ticket.
Georgia's been in play for several cycles now, and it is close.
But former Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler says Georgia is not all peachy for Vice President Harris.
I think we have to look to the voters. The voters know exactly what's going on, and we're going to have to work hard, and certainly that's what we're doing every single day on the ground.
Especially given the abbreviated time Harris has until November. Loeffler says Republicans have already been able to appeal to voters as former President Trump continues with a new running mate at his side. But Democratic State Senator Jason Estevez believes Harris has a fighting chance.
There are also 24 offices, campaign offices open across the state.
With less than 100 days until the November election, Estevez notes the increased attention from former President Trump and VP Harris shows how crucial every ballot will be. Now, it wasn't just the economy that came up during my conversations today. In fact, former Senator Loeffler specifically mentioned the border and concerns about that she's been hearing from voters. And when it came to current state Senator Jason Estevez, he mentioned funding for social programs, things like student loans, in addition to the economy that came up. All of these concerns are things that both of them say Harris will have to form clear policy around and communicate to voters if she expects to sway them to her side after this visit. Back to you.
All right, Karis, thank you so much. And we will, of course, bring you highlights from Vice President Harris's visit and the Republican response tonight on 11 Alive News at 11 following the Olympics in prime time.